Welcome to Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 76. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Whoops. I'm losing my...
Your marbles.
No, that's already been done. There we go.
You've already lost your marbles?
Yep. Peter Pan took them. Okay.
I do like that movie.
I do too. There we go. Okay.
Anyway, my name is Talia,
and
also known as Franciscan Gypsy on Ravelry, Plurk, and everywhere else. I've never been known as Pipsqueak. Ever.
No, you're just Pumpkinhead and
Venerable Bee.
Venerable Bee. And what's the other one?
Don Knotts.
Yeah, no, we didn't call you that. What's the little Blueberry?
Mm-hmm.
Blueberry, that's the one.
But that's ages ago.
We gave her a little blue dinosaur because, yeah. Anyway, I'm Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico, on Ravelry, on Plurk,
Foot cramp.
and on Instagram, and just about everywhere that is fiber related. And I'm known as Shadowlight or Shadowlight1 or as Marlisha on my writing sites and on Facebook, etc.
Trying something new for the show notes. Put it on the Kindle.
Yes, my
Fire,
Kindle.
so we'll see how that goes.
My Kindle is dead right now. It's charging. So
Mom was complaining that she couldn't read my show notes, so I made it extra large for people who can't see eyes. I was going to say old lady
people who
eyes.
can't see eyes. I can see your eyes just fine. Anyway, stop it.
Stop it.
I'll be forced to hurt you.
Could you define it?
It's kind of like is.
Is it difficult to describe?
It's okay. Anyway, I want to welcome new and returning viewers. We thank you for spending time with us. We know you have a lot to do.
We do have a couple new viewers.
We do have a couple new viewers. The first one is The Burden is Sweet, and I do not know her name. She didn't have it on her page, so The Burden is Sweet. She's very nice. Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
And then Tracy and Rick. And her name is Tracy, and we welcome you too. We're glad you found us, and we look forward to seeing your whips and your...
And I'm glad she told us the reason behind the name, because I probably would have pronounced it Tracy Andrick or something like that.
I finally figured it out. You know, when I was looking at
it. She actually said...
Oh, I know she did, but I did it when I was writing to her before she went into the page, because I welcomed her before she went into the page. But I'm like, oh, it must be her husband. Okay,
yeah, I was glad she said something, because otherwise I would have thought like it was Tracy Andrick, like it was her last name or
right,
something.
and that's not beyond the realm of possibility.
Whoopsie, grab something to
eat or drink. It's very cold here today. They were threatening snow.
I have my watermelon Fruito too. I've been a very good girl. I've been drinking all flavored waters, none of the iced tea or anything like that. I've been very good.
Chai tea. That's what I drink for the podcast because it's cold out. And I like
and I made yesterday some sourdough bread.
It is awesome.
So I'm enjoying my breakfast.
I had sourdough bread with my lunch today. It was really good.
For those of you who are new to the podcast, the reason why she's talking about lunch and I'm talking about breakfast is because I live on a night schedule. I go to bed around 6:30, 7:30 in the morning, and I wake up around 2:30 usually. I got up a little earlier this...
After her alarm went off 10,000 times.
I didn't feel like getting up at noon. It was too early.
Well, nobody told you to get up at noon. Well, I just slept through. No, they goes, ah. It sounds like a demented rooster. I think Dawn and James would have it beheaded and cooked for supper.
Anyway, yes. So that's why I'm talking about breakfast.
And I'm talking about supper. Because we eat our main meal in the middle of the day. Our family does. Because my husband...
Everyone else in the family, I eat my main meal.
Right. My husband can't eat his main meal too late at night. It bothers him, keeps him up. So we have our main meal at the middle of the day. But
so I'm going to commence to eat sourdough bread in front of you. Sorry.
Yes, because she's rude.
But
get your drink, get your food, and we'll move on. Welcome, as we said, to our new members and to everybody else. We're glad you're with us. We want to tell you all how excited we are about the toy along. It's moving along really nicely. All the cute little toys are just adorable.
And that gumball dragon's growing on me. I really like the last colors she did for him, even though she said they aren't her favorites. I think it was like yellows, and it was fire colors.
Well, fire colors with a shot of pink, and I think it was the pink that she said that, I think the pink was what graded on her. When I first saw it, I was like, and it grew
Oh,
on me.
you see, I thought it was super cute from the second.
I think it's adorable.
I love the colors.
I still have to talk to her about the feet so I can finish mine.
And like I said, at first I was kind of like, oh, it's a gumball dragon.
I love it. I think it's so cute.
Because I'm not huge into the monsters, but...
It's not a monster. It's a gumball dragon.
But it's grown on me, and I really like that color combination.
It was well done, and I will get to you about the feet. It's just a matter of time. I want to finish that, and I'm really close. But anyway, the toy along is going along really nicely. We're excited about it. As I think it was Nicole who Scarves, etc. I'm not going to talk over you.
I love you.
The toy along Scarves, etc. I think it was Nicole said that we have almost more toys here at the halfway mark or third way mark than we did at the end last year. So we're so excited. Keep up the good work. You guys are doing great. I am queuing so many toys that I want to make for myself, for other people.
Now, who made that alien again with the long nose?
Oh, that's the same person who did the one with the stalks. That's TMB99, I think it is. I think I got it right this time.
It's so cute.
It's
I wish that was an actual pattern.
Yeah, well, I told her she needs to write up her patterns.
Because I don't like little monstery alien things, but her little monstery alien things are so darn cute.
Yes, they are. I think she needs to write up the patterns for that. I've already talked to her about that, so we'll see. So anyway, the toy along will continue through December 31st, and we do have prizes from Anastasia Knits Designs. She has done. She has given us 5 patterns, I think it is.
Yeah, I think both.
No, Patchwork Moose has given us 3.
Right.
And Anastasia Knits Designs
I think
has
she
given us
did
5.
Yeah.
And they are both very talented designers, so we're very lucky to have them. There may be other prizes, we're not sure, but right now that's what we have.
Yet.
Right now that's what we have. So and that's fantastic. The sweater along has gotten a really good response, so we're really happy about that. We're looking forward to starting that in January. It will go January till March, which I think Sock Bunny is also doing one from January to March, and she has already said on her podcast.
But it was our idea first.
She said on her podcast already that she doesn't care if you double dip, and we don't care if you double dip. So if you want to double dip in ours and double dip in hers, that's fine.
But it was our idea first.
Yeah, we were talking about even before Jenna said anything on hers, but Jenna got it out first.
So just if you want to get the record straight,
So keep in mind what you're going to be doing for your sweaters. We'd love to see them. I think we're going to be doing it like we did the Potiversary Cal, where we're going to be doing we're going to be counting also the progress as well as the finished objects, because some of us will not finish the sweaters, and we want to give you a chance to win the prizes. So that's enough about the sweater. We'll talk about that again after, as time goes by.
I'm
flicking. All right. How many do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I start. The one I barely worked on, so let me see if I can find where I put it.
We actually have good lighting in here. We were afraid it was going to be dark, but it's...
Well, that's why I think it's good that we did it today instead of yesterday. We meant to do it yesterday, but Mom just had to take a walk.
Yes, it did.
So...
Yes, I did.
It was too dark when we came back. The sun was going down. There was no way you guys would be able to see much of anything.
Yeah, it was not only getting dark, but it was also looking like it might rain. And for a while there, we thought it was going to snow. It looks like it's clearing up now, but it's supposed to have snow and or rain today or tomorrow.
Let's see, I think that my co-Cammy lives about 45 minutes away. She got snow where she
Is she in Winchester?
No, so I guess she's more like an hour away.
Well,
so that's like that. She's closer to Winchester. But
yeah, Winchester area gets more weather than we do sometimes. So, but anyway.
I wonder if Nicole has snow.
Nicole who?
Scarves, etc.
Because I know Max Knits is in this area too.
Oh, okay, I forgot that.
But anyway, we are.
I wonder if either Nicole's have snow.
We in this area, including Shade of Fools and a couple other people, maybe DC people out in DC like Ooh Fancy Pants. We are all under kind of a snow watch, or not a watch, but it might snow. Anyway, you want to go first? You have to go first. Why are you eating? You knew you had to go first. She knew she was next. She just has to say, "Look at me, I'm eating."
You started talking. I thought I had time.
There you go thinking again. Bad for you. Bad, bad, bad. Oh, that's intelligent. See, she's 2.
You did that right before the podcast. The only thing is that you didn't do it on air.
There's no proof of that.
It was secretly recording.
Sure.
Anyway,
you shouldn't do to your mother.
This is Disco Nights. You see how I ignored that. The
She always
Torellino
ignores.
pattern by Valentina Coschiani. I think that's just the coolest name. I'm using US 2 needles and the Wild Hair Fiber Studio Pinnacle Fingering Yarn in the Neon Lights colorway. And this is for Davina. She keeps mentioning it, hinting at the fact that I need to finish this.
Loudly. And insistently. Not incessantly, insistently.
Yeah, she let off a little bit when I made her the mitts. Now she kind of is starting to hint again. I'm like, this will get done whenever I feel like it, because this is fingering weight yarn, and I have to work it for, I think it's like 19.5 inches total. I'm somewhere at like 15, and for fingering weight yarn, that takes forever. It might help if I worked on it more, but it's not what I feel like working on right now. So, and there's no time limit, and she can keep matching it if she wants. Not going to make me work on it any faster. So,
It's not pretty.
It's making its way down. I think it's good fit for her for it to be hers. I'm not sure if I would have actually worn these colors.
I saw a pattern that I wanted to make for Davina. I think it's crocheted, and it's using neon colors, but I don't know if it's like color work or if it's the yarn does its thing, because the way it works up in the pattern, it's almost like stained glass, and I think she'd love it.
Yeah. Oh, that's something I want to point out. There's some interesting pooling with this yarn, the way that this grows. It starts out, as you can see, with just striping, and then along here it starts pooling,
Which is really pretty.
which is really pooling. Really pooling.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Really pretty.
As if they didn't understand it the first time.
I think she'll really like that.
Yeah, I think she will. She'll love the colors. She just will.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So yeah, that is her project, living in my turtle ploverbird bag.
Not to be confused with the ploverbird turtle bag.
Not to be confused with your names my bag turtle bag.
Yes, but I do have that one out here.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Like,
Okay.
you usually have a project in that bag because that's one of your favorites. So there we go.
Okay.
It's your turn.
My turn. All right.
I'm stuck on something.
I have worked.
Oh, that's
I'm gonna in my turtle bag, my sea turtle bag. I did a little bit of work on my Chihuahua. I didn't do a lot on my Chihuahua.
That's a big bag for a little project.
Well, it's not a little project. I mean, it's got all the skeins of yarn in here, and it's got these humongous pieces. You all saw the head last time.
And that's a Uber sweater bag.
Yes, it is. Whoops. This
Is
the
she
ear.
doing that size anymore?
Yes, this is. Well, you know, I think this is what her big one became.
Okay, so she had a size bigger than that?
I think this is what it is.
Oh, okay.
I think this one I think is like, or maybe her big one's a little bit bigger than this. I don't know.
I'm not up on
I
the
need to get one of her real big ones, but
I mean, it's a really good size.
this is the ear. Okay, this is one ear, and it's got a little bit more to go on it. This is going to be humongous.
They can't see, Mom.
Yeah, there. I can't.
I just laugh that you're still having difficulty
I'm
with a camera.
I'm spatially challenged.
But how often have we done this?
I'm still spatially challenged. Anyway, this is the ear. I'm not really sure how to put it on just yet, but that's a big Chihuahua.
Yeah, it is. I thought it was only supposed to be a couple inches.
No, it was. I knew it was going to be bigger than that, but I had. You've already seen the.
Sorry.
The nose, which is here. Oops.
Now you're still working the eyes, right?
I have opted. Who was it I was talking that they made a command decision? I think it was Sock Bunny. I made a command decision to put the eyes aside and work on other things right now. Work on the rest of it, and I'll come back to the eyes. But this is.
You'll think about it tomorrow?
I'll think about it tomorrow. This is the nose, and I do have the white part of the eyes, which I showed you all last week, done. I have to figure out what it is, why it's turning out so much bigger than I think it needs to be, and maybe I'm just, overthinking it. But I'm having a lot of fun with this pattern. I just didn't work it a lot because I had other things I was trying to get done. I will go back to working it when I finish those other things. So it probably will get just a little bit of love during the next couple of weeks, especially with Thanksgiving and stuff coming on. And I'm using a, the pattern is the Lupita Chihuahua Amigurumi pattern by Paola Navarro. And I'm using an F hook, which is a 3.75 millimeter, and Red Heart Super Saver solids in tan, brown, black, and white. And that I do like Red Heart for toys. It holds its shape really well. And when you wash it, it gets soft. So even though it's a little bit rough to begin with, once you wash it, it'll be fine. So I'm enjoying this a lot.
Okay, I guess it's me again.
Oh, goody.
Oh yeah, Katharine Hepburn. In Philadelphia Story. Oh, we're going to talk about me. Oh, goody.
We have to get Davina to do it.
Yes, because she can do that voice.
Davina's a really good mimic.
So, I always forget to mention this bag because the project doesn't live in the bag. The yarn lives in the bag.
So be warned, Nicole. It eats,
and Nicole scars, etc.
Yes, Nicole scars, etc. It eats fiberfill, and it doesn't like to live where you tell it to live. It's a cat.
Yeah, except not. It can eat cats. So it's in my sheep's bag from Needs My Bag. It's one of her earlier bags. I don't know if she has this size anymore.
It depends. It might be her squishy size, or whatever it is she calls it now. I forget what she calls it. She has 4 sizes now instead of 3.
And I'm not overly familiar with her bags anymore.
Yeah.
There we go. So this is Sherbert the Lady Snake, who is actually upside down. There we go. This is the crochet snake pattern by Spotlight. This is a free pattern. I'm using a G hook, and the yarn is, for the main part of the body, is Yarn Bean Danielle, and this is actually a discontinued yarn in the colorway Vibes. And I'm also using Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn for the stripes, and it's neon yarn. And the colors purple neon, blue neon, fuchsia neon, pink neon, green neon.
Essentially all the neons but orange.
Yeah. And I don't think I have the yellow neon.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yellow and orange.
So she is grown quite a bit since you last saw her.
Yes, she has. She has indeed. She's so pretty.
She's starting to look like a snake. Yes, come back here.
You have to fork her tongue.
Well, she needs a real tongue. That's just the yarn end.
Yeah.
And she'll get a real tongue.
She's eating spaghetti.
She likes spaghetti. But yeah, Nicole, this is a very good mindless crochet.
And Taylor will love it.
Yes, Taylor will. I mean, look how big this thing is. This isn't even half done yet, I don't think.
And even though Ty was saying she was concerned about not stuffing it enough, I think that if you stuffed it too much, it would be less, not pliable, but less
snaky,
movable. You know,
yeah.
It would be stiff.
Yeah, and I think this bend is where I have a tendency to bend her.
Yeah.
So.
And it's really sad that this yarn is discontinued.
Because look how beautifully that's.
This is what I look for when I talk about, when I tell design dyers and stuff, or people that are looking for yarn. I like the fading. Yes, I like you too. I like the fading of the colors, so they're not really definite stripes or not really definite color changes. It just kind of eases in and eases out, and it's so pretty.
I know you're just showing off the color changes, but it looks like you're petting her.
There. Now she's been petted.
Yes, and she really is starting to look like a snake, which makes me happy. She has some personality in her face. In her sneaky little face.
She'll have more personality when you
sneaky
give her a
big face.
When you give her a tongue, she'll be better.
I think if I ran into a snake that size, I might actually have a little bit of a pause.
That's all?
Okay, more than a little bit. I like snakes. Stay there.
Careful, you don't knock something over.
I did not.
Okay.
Knock something over. I was careful.
Did you tell the incidentals about it? Yeah, you told the yarn. Did you tell the hook?
Yeah, I did. You just weren't paying attention.
My second project is the Rip It Good blanket, which, like I said, will be changing as soon as I figure out what it is. And this one also has. This is my own pattern, and I started it out with a discontinued yarn. It's also yarn B in the Danielle. Is it Danielle base, right? The Danielle base in the Dawn colorway.
Danielle, not Daniel.
I said Danielle.
You said Danielle a second time.
I did not, in fact. I'm not going to do this with you anymore. I think I'm going to...
Ooh, foot cramp.
Serves you right.
Ow.
Serves you right.
Hurts.
Good.
You're mean.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to make you try to put your own podcast up.
Uh-huh. You like being on the podcast too much. Anyway, I started out. This is the same brand of yarn that Talia's using. Only this is the Dawn colorway and is discontinued, which was really sad. So I had to go on to. I think this is Impeccable. The yarn's Impeccable.
Impeccable me?
Yeah, I think it's not Impeccable. Despicable.
I know.
This is in. And this is pink. I don't know exactly what pink. I would have to find my yarn band. But anyway, that's what it looks like so far. I really can't. I don't want to get in your face here.
Sure.
I guess it looks okay. I mean, it'll look all right, I guess. It's not what I wanted. At least I can see the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of pink in it. I'm getting rid of the pink that I had when I was doing my parents' anniversary blanket. Was it last year?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, Red Heart had run out of yarn. I looked all over the place and couldn't find it, so I bought the Impeccable. I bought some Vanna's Choice. Vanna's Choice? Yeah.
I don't remember. It would have. There is a yarn called Vanna's Choice.
That's what I was wanting. Yeah, Vanna's Choice. And then I found some more of the Red Heart, so I have all this leftover pink. So at least, at the very least, I am breaking that into that stash of pink because I'm sorry,
all you pinky
Denise
people.
and Kathy, I'm not a big pink person. I can't wait to get rid of this color. Although I do like the rose and some of the dusty colors. And this, I'm using an eye hook, and it's not a difficult pattern. It's the only thing that might make it more of an advanced beginner / intermediate is that I use front and back post crochets. Other than that, it shouldn't be difficult at all, and I'm having fun with it, and it's kind of I don't want to pay attention to anything, and I can do this almost with my eyes closed. So it's growing. I did a fair amount of work on it, although I did have a project that kind of took up my time toward the end of the week. And it is living in my bag, Angel bag, which is also a big bag, but it is not quite as big
as your turtle.
That's my turtle bag, as I will show you here.
They're
both sweater bags.
You might want to switch the project.
Yeah, I might.
Because I think your blanket needs the turtle bag.
See, you can tell that the turtle bag's a little bit bigger.
They can't tell that view.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. But
now you can.
See, it's a little bit bigger. So, yeah, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I will be glad when I'm finished, but it's not anything that's a hardship to do. I just do it. It doesn't hurt my hands. It doesn't hurt my head. I can do it whenever I want to. So
the next project that I'm going to talk about is
sew your pants.
Cable denim. These are once again the Irish hiking, the Irish hiking scarf arm warmers. I really like this pattern for the fingerless mitts. I think that these might become like where people are doing their
socks.
Their vanilla socks a lot of times. This is going to be my vanilla sock, i.e. my arm vanilla. I don't know. Irish hiking scarf.
Well, it has a cuff and it has a arm leg.
So this pattern is a free I think it's free. I think it's free. Yeah.
You better make sure before you give any real.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah.
Because I was actually searching for free patterns. It's worked flat. It's by Delia Rauchlakian. I'm using US 7 needles, Malintosh vintage in the colorways, worn denim, and Cove. Making it for me. One is done, so I have.
So that's the reverse of what you did on the other one.
Yes.
It's the same yarn that she used on the stockinette mitts that she did before.
Well, they haven't seen those yet.
Yeah, they did.
They might have seen them unfinished.
Well, they know what they look like. It's pretty.
So, I like the way these fit. So
the cable makes it, the cable and the
makes it fit nice and tightly. And I don't know, I just like these mitts. I can see myself making these for gifts or whatnot. They look classy without being too complicated. and the pattern's very easy to memorize. It fits very well.
Well, you can see where you have to do what you have to do. You
Yeah.
just, follow along.
So it's very nice.
Is it, what's in the middle here? Is it just stockinette in the middle? Is the seed stitch? What is it in the middle?
No, that's just purling. I guess what you would call reverse stockinette bow. It's a nice, simple pattern.
I like that.
So that's
And is that done flat or in the round?
flat.
Okay.
Then you sew up the side.
Cool.
So I started the second mitt. And I'll probably still have yarn left over, crazily enough.
It's pretty yarn. I like it.
It is pretty. I didn't really appreciate it until I got to see it on its own mitt. Let me put my red mitt back on. Yeah, same pattern I'm wearing.
We mean its own mitt.
Not as an accent.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the other color.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, now, and I'm wearing my red ones. Yay. So,
Pretty red.
your turn.
Okay. The last thing I was working on is still in my. It's still in here. Yes, in my Bright Craft tea and chocolate bag.
Oh yeah, this is in my TARDIS poker bag.
Who, by the way, is almost ready to clear out her shop. She's moving and she's closing down temporarily. So if you want to get her bags before she does, you might want to run on over there.
But don't run with scissors.
Yeah, that one is Sock Bunny.
Sock Bunny runs with scissors?
Sock Bunny has yarn called that. Don't run with scissors. I think it's don't run with scissors. Anyway.
I was going to say Sock Bunny runs with scissors, really?
I wouldn't put it past her. That's how she gets her colorways. I love Sock Bunny. She makes me laugh. Anyway, this is my iridescent shawl for my mom. It's the Merlot shawl pattern by Julia Vaconson. Okay, and I'm using a G hook for it, which is a 4mm, and it's Wild Hair Fiber Studios Pinnacle Fingering Yarn in the Renaissance Fair colorway. And it's grown quite a bit since you guys saw it last.
I'm not sure which way. I'm still not sure which way it's supposed to be going.
I think it goes something like this. I have started the decrease, so I'm about halfway through it now. I love the colors.
It's so beautiful.
I love the colors.
What you said about oil on water that's bang on.
Yeah, it is. So I really like this. I'm just not sure how it's going to be. I think this is the center. I think because we're decreasing now. I'm just not sure exactly how the wing is, and I think I'm going to block it. I'll have to see how it shapes up to see how aggressively I block it. But I'm enjoying it, and now that I'm doing the decreases, I'm feeling a little more comfortable with it, because it seemed like when I was increasing,
you and increasing don't get along.
Well, no, it just seemed like it took forever.
Right.
It just took forever, and if I don't pay attention to the count, because it's in the back loops, I found myself, because the stitch turns over, so I would pick up the stitch below it sometimes, and then pick up the one behind it, so I would gain a stitch. So I'd go back, and that's not a problem. I don't have any problem with that. It just slows things down a little bit. So
drop it.
I took myself off the time schedule. I still want to finish it before my mom gets here for Thanksgiving, so I can give it to her for her birthday, which was last month. But I'm not putting myself under the pressure of doing that, because it makes me cranky, and I make more mistakes. So I just decided
Let me
that.
fix the
yeah,
lighting.
I was noticing the lighting. I've got the light shining right in my face. So that's great. That's good. Yeah. So I'm hoping that I can finish this before my mom gets here. Like I said, I have started the decreasing, and because it's now going to be getting smaller instead of bigger, hopefully it'll speed up a little bit, and I'll do the edging and it'll be done. So hopefully it'll be blocked before she gets here. And I think, I don't know if I tell you the size hook, it is a G hook. So.
Oh, and on my way back, I noted from the opening the curtain.
Oh, don't do
closing
that yet.
the curtains.
Don't do that yet.
Don't do that yet?
No, don't do
No?
that yet.
Okay, well, I'll put it on your side.
Not yet. That's something else.
Okay, then.
Yes, that's something else.
Anywho.
Mess up the podcast.
It's my. I started my podcast.
I didn't say it wasn't. I said you messed up the podcast. Boy, little proprietary are we?
She said I missed.
Every time she feels threatened, hers her precious.
Who started it?
You did.
Uh-huh.
Who's evolved?
Was that the first one or the second one?
First one, I think.
And we're talking about Night in the Museum.
Yes, with Ben Stiller.
And actually, it's one of the ones with Ben Stiller. It's good. I'm not a huge,
I'm not a huge Ben Stiller or Robin Williams fan, but it's a cute movie. Actually, both of them are cute, but the first one's better.
Yeah, the first one's definitely better. Yeah. I think you're right. I think that was the first one.
The stupid monkey. Who's evolved? Who's evolved?
Okay, anyway. Last project I have to talk about is the Autumnal, which is Ginny's cardigan. This is a pattern by Mary Chiba from the unofficial Harry Potter's Knits magazine. I actually think I might be the only one right now of the podcasters who's working on anything from that. I remember when everyone picked up the magazine. But when I picked it up, I had a definite idea of what I wanted to work in there. I'm using US 4 and US 6 needles. I think I cast on with the US 6 and I'm working the US 4s right now. I think that's what it is. I'm using Yarn Bee Soft Secret in the Bittersweet colorway. That yarn's still around.
Right. It's a little less... It's very soft, but it also splits.
And it also... I think, now, it might not be as much to someone else, but I think it shows like every decrease and increase that you do. But I'm hoping with washing...
I think I'll probably find out one way or the other when I do the other shawl pattern that I got from the LYS.
But that might also be because I'm sensitive to it, and I might just need to wash it and see how it fuzzes a little bit. Because acrylic's going to fuzz a little bit when you wash and dry it. It's not going to felt, but anyway. Where am I? There it is. Okay, and I'm doing the size 36 1/4. So,
in your Plover Bird creepy llama bag.
It's not creepy. It's in my llama bag.
Every time.
Llama.
Llama, llama, llama.
And I have made a lot of progress on this.
You're growing a lot, yeah.
Well, I worked on this almost exclusively on my nights off. So, it's supposed to be 15 inches from the cast-on edge, and then I can start working on the sleeves. I'm 14.5 inches.
Are you going to make it a little longer, or are you going to just do what it says?
I'm just going to do what it says. Oh, that actually kind of showed the pattern.
And the color is really good.
You can kind of see the owls now.
I would have called this clay or something. You know, this is just, the color's right on.
It's
very pretty.
Beautiful color. Not a color I usually go for normally, but my colors have been changing a bit. I'm definitely going more for the fire colors, the oranges, the yellows, the reds. The reds have always been a part of my color scheme, but I'm kind of moving away from the blues and greens a bit. I like blue and green, but I'm moving toward fire. Which we laugh because one of my characters I write is very much fire.
We have become our characters.
And her character who's involved with his character is like blues and greens and all that. So she's calm, he's fire. So this is turning out very nicely, I think. This section here, the ribbing, seems like it took forever.
It's almost like a tree in the middle from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, I know it's an owl, but it's hard to tell when you're...
Well, I think, once you get it done, it's supposed to have beads in the eyes?
No.
Okay. I think it's just once you get it finished, it'll be easier to see.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful pattern.
Oh, I love it.
Even before I knew it was an owl, I just liked the pattern.
Sure.
And I like the fact that the lace is on the back because then I don't have to worry about getting chilly.
Right.
It's in the back. So this gets a lot of attention. I've gotten a little more used to lace pattern. I don't work it that much if I'm having family time watching TV, but I'll do it while I'm watching podcasts and things like that. Not very good for conversation, though.
No, you have to pay attention.
Because of the lace. So.
Okay.
There it is.
Do you have any more?
No, that'd be it.
Finished objects?
Hold on.
we are looking to go to the bookshelf. We forgot to call our whips what they are, the hooks.
Oops. So on the bookshelf, which is our finished objects.
You have two, I only have one, so you got to go first.
Okay, which is because we're trying to do a writing themed podcast.
Right, and in case you haven't been with us very long, we'll do what Nittner has done recently and tell you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Publicity is kind of the administration.
Well, we already did that. We'll go over it next time. But
okay. Right,
we'll do from this point on. There's no point in going backwards.
Well, you don't need to do it all the time. I mean, you just need to do it once in a while for the new members who don't know.
Yeah, but I figured there's no sense in going backwards.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
They figured it out now.
It doesn't really matter. We didn't do it this time, is why.
Yeah, we'll just do it next time. But on the bookshelf
I mean that we didn't even. It didn't even say what it was.
We'll worry about it next time.
Yeah.
On the bookshelf is our FOs. So, moving the bread over. Stay. Okay.
I think I'll make it fall.
You would do something like that.
You're a brat, so I make it fall.
Well, you would know brats.
Yes, I will. I spent all my life with you almost. Well, all your life with you.
I was going to say you spent all your life with a brat. Yes, yourself.
No.
Yep.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to need to remove these because I do have FOs.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Worn Denim Cove Mitts, District DIY Mittens by Kathleen Lamb. This is a free pattern, I believe. US 7 needles. And I'm using Malintosh Vintage in the colorways Worn Denim and Cove. Cove being the main color. I love the colors. I'm not as fond of the stockinettes. And it has nothing to do with the patterns, it's personal preference. Just because it's not very tight. It's just a very loose.
Might be nicer if it's warmer out because it's not so tight.
Yeah, and it's sort of.
It bunches.
It bunches more, and that's not my style. In comparison to its opposite, I just couldn't see myself making another pair like this, but I didn't really care for it. Which really sticks closely to the wrist. Uses up more yarn, but it's worth it. I like the colors for this a lot, but I prefer how this hugs my wrist. But I could see myself wearing this over sweaters. It doesn't work very well under sweaters because it bunches. It really has to be over something.
Well, it's nice when you have a pair of gloves or something. You don't want the snow to get into your, into your sleeves.
Yeah,
so put it over your sweater.
It's a nice pattern, but it's just not my favorite Fingerless Mitts pattern. I probably won't make this pattern again.
I might.
But I absolutely love this one. As evidenced by the fact that I've made like 20 of those mitts.
20, huh?
Actually, I've made
4?
4. Wait, I made 1 that you have.
I do have 1. Mm-hmm.
I made 2 for Davina.
And 2 for yourself.
Yeah, and I'm making 2 for myself. I have this one finished, so.
Not quite 20.
No, but I could easily make 20. Because these are very potato chippy for me.
Are you done?
Yes, your turn.
Okay. My FO was kind of a whim. We were at the Hobby Lobby and we thought we were going to head out to the bookstore, and I didn't bring my knitting or crocheting with me. This was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband decided he didn't want to go.
Saturday. It was Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Saturday. So my husband decided he didn't want to go to the bookstore after all, but we thought we were going at this point. So Ty said, why don't you pick up a hook and some yarn and, make a pair of mitts, and you can use the one I'm working on to gauge the length. So I bought the yarn.
And that time I was working on the stockinette mitts, the DIY.
Right. And so I went ahead and bought the yarn. Of course, we ended up going, but I still went ahead. Well, I bought the yarn. I might as well do the mitts. So this is what I came up with. It is my pattern, my own pattern. I used Hobby Lobby Ombre. I think this is the Autumn Stripes, and then the top is the terracotta.
You can hardly tell that they aren't part of the same yarn.
Yeah, they're so close together. And I just wanted something a little bit Thanksgiving-y. The you see some hole here. It's not sewn.
It's very similar in the pattern.
Yes.
It's basically the crocheted form of the DIY.
Right, but I did not sew it. I slip stitched it together.
Oh.
And it fits fairly tight in here, and it will bunch a little, but it's not as much of a bunch as Talia's is. I think because the crochet, just by the nature,
is tighter.
I did back loops for the cuff and this part up here. I don't know what you call this part up here, but
second cuff.
I don't know. That part is back loop, and the rest is just plain old single crochet, and it is done flat. I didn't want to have to do it in the round.
I think you did double crochet. It was actually single crochet.
This is single crochet.
Okay.
That's why I was saying I might do a slip stitch one,
okay.
because the stitches are so big. They surprised me at how big and how heavy it is. These are very warm. In fact, I'm not going to put them back on because my hands are a little hot. And it only took me a couple of days, and it wasn't. I started them again. I tend to start projects at night, so I had the first one completely done and laying flat within maybe an hour and a half, give or take, and then I finished the second one, seamed it up and everything. The next day, maybe in a couple hours, they were done. So it was really easy pattern, very fast, and I would probably make them again, although I might make them in a DK instead, and maybe, like I said, do some slip stitch instead. I think I might want to do some designing for mitts. That'd be fun.
I find that I'm kind of particular about mitts. I don't necessarily like doing them in the round. Although if I do learn how to, I've tried several different forms of working in a round. I've done magic looping, which is fun enough. I've done DPNs, which after a while you get kind of tired of doing. My next step is to learn how to do the two circulars,
yeah.
And I'm going to try that for the sleeves for the not the antler, the autumnal, which is the Ginny's cardigan.
Right. Well, if it weren't for the fact that with the crocheting it's kind of fiddly, I just don't like dealing with because when you do the crochet in the round for the mitts, you have this circle, and you're crocheting into the circle, and until you get a certain number of stitches, it's just really it twists, and I just don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I would have the same problem with knitting, because I haven't tried any kind of circular knitting. But
knitting in the round is a little easier, in my personal opinion.
I would think.
But also, I find everything knitting a little bit easier.
Except tearing back.
Except tearing back?
Tearing back, you oboe head.
You said tearing. Okay.
But that's my FO. That's the only one I have. That's basically that, and my mother's shawl took up most of my time.
I was put on call earlier in the week, last week actually. I was put on call on Wednesday. During that time, I got a chance to finish the Black Cherry Poncho, which is a swingy poncho pattern by Casapinka. I used US 9 needles, and this is the KR Dyeworks MCN yarn in the Aran weights. It's a black cherry colorway. This still needs to be blocked, but I'm still counting it as a complete FO because the ends are all woven in. I don't always block in my stuff, but this needs a little blocking because of where I did the color change. It bunches a little bit. But there's the poncho. I really am enjoying it. I wear it a lot. I've been wearing it as a jacket a couple days.
It's very heavy. Very heavy.
You can kind of see where it bunches there. I tend to wear it on the arm side. That's where the bend of my arm is, and it's not quite as noticeable that way. But I love these colors. I did alternate skeins, even though you can't tell.
And the yarn is by Kimberly R.
Yeah.
Kimberly R. Dyeworks, right?
Yeah, I actually said the yarn already, but you didn't listen to me.
No, I never do.
I noticed that. So, yeah, you can't tell that I alternated skeins. But I love how it worked out.
It's beautiful yarn.
And this is very nice and comfy warm.
Is this going to felt?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because she has superwash.
But there's cashmere in this,
Right.
and there's.
Right. Well, I think you can tweak cashmere too, but you have to be careful.
I think you'd lose some of the lustrousness. It makes me so
Probably.
happy.
Probably.
Because remember how they were talking about how you make things superwash, you're stripping away part of what makes it so
No, I
soft.
don't remember. What
They mentioned it during that class that we took together at.
I tuned them out after a while.
So,
I was trying to keep track of everything at once, so
But yes,
Which class? Oh, that was the knitting class.
cable one, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I remember that
this
now.
is very comfy.
Yeah. Okay, I don't have any rough drafts.
I don't either, because this would have been a rough draft because I woven all the ends, and I'm
Okay.
counting it as a on the bookshelf.
And I do not have any writer's block either.
I don't either. And writer's block are things that we put away, frog.
Frog or deep hibernation
yeah.
or whatever. Take it off the books or whatever. I mean, I do have things, but nothing that needs to be mentioned at this point.
Yeah.
Because they've already been mentioned.
Yeah.
And they just haven't changed. I do want to go into my closet and reclaim some yarn. I have that beautiful white sweater. It's a cream sweater that was one of my favorite sweaters, and I took it on a trip to Boston a few years back. And I don't know if it got caught on a hanger or got caught on something sharp, wherever it was I put it. But there's a hole in the hood, and it can't be fixed. So I'm thinking about reclaiming the yarn and making this one. Your head.
Dear mommy, there's a hole in the hood, dear mommy, a hole. Hi. Anyway,
And so, I might do a reclaiming party, as I was trying to say before I was so rudely interrupted.
I actually didn't interrupt you. You had completed your.
I took a breath.
You had
Davina.
You had finished speaking.
Yes, for 5 seconds. Anyway.
I have to slip in words where I can, otherwise I'll never get words
Ha.
in. Anyway, the prompts, which are the things that we wish to start. Well, one kind of goes into royalties. Some, actually, all but one go into royalties.
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, since you have that, I'm just going to touch over real quickly things that we don't have to show.
I do have to show one thing, though.
Well, no, I'll let you do that as soon as
Okay.
I go over this, because then we both have to go into stash enhancements.
Okay. Well, one is not a stash enhancement.
Oh, we'll go through that one first.
Because they were asking about what we wanted to do for the sweater along. Max Nix was asking.
Yeah, but we should do that toward the end, because we're going to start talking about yarns and stuff then.
No, this isn't going to talk. This is. I already have the yarn for this.
All right, well, go ahead then. I'm not sure it's the right place, but go ahead.
We created it. Any place is the right place. So, to answer Nicole's question, for the sweater along, I'm intending to do the bullet.
Excuse me, I need to go get mine.
Your pattern?
Yeah, because I didn't know we were going to do that.
The Box Elder cardigan by Maria Leigh. And I showed this knit scene a while back. It's the knit scene, the most recent one, I think. Yeah, so whatever month that was, winter 2013. So, it's a really cute sweater. I'll be doing it in the villainous, which I'm not going to bring out here and show. I finally decided on the villainous instead of the blue yarn, even though it would make more sense to have a blue sweater because I already have a green hooded sweater. But heck with logic, I'm going to do the illogical because that's what I want to work it in. And I think it'll be very pretty.
Okay, I'm really not sure yet what I'm going to do, but I am leaning toward another hooded sweater. This one is crocheted. And I showed this to you last week, I think. It's called the Anthurium. And it does have a hood, you just can't see it.
So that gives you guys, if you want a mattress for projects, a crochet option and a knitted option.
Yes, and this, I'm trying to see if I can find the one with the hood.
The picture with the hood.
Picture with the hood. Here it is. I only do my cover and color. I don't know if it's focus.
It's focusing.
So that's what I'm looking at doing, potentially with my Dragonfly Fibers yarn that I showed you a couple
Eons
weeks
ago.
Well, I'll show it to you again when my I had to get 2 more to make enough yarn. If I think it's too busy, I will do a different yarn. And
or if you think that if you can't get gauge.
If I can't get gauge, I don't know what I'll do if I can't get gauge because it's a fingering weight yarn. Although the Dragonfly Fibers is a little thicker.
You
so
might be able to go with a real fingering weight.
Real fingering weight. So
or with maybe the lace weight that Verdant Griffin has.
Right.
Which is a little heavier, but not as.
And she has a lot of yarn. Well, she has that heavier lace weight. I don't know how heavy it is. I would have to ask her if that would be considered a fingering. And she has a lot of yardage in that too. So, but anyway, that's what I'm looking at. I also have some sweaters that I'm looking at picking up. I have the class already, so I have the pattern, I have the yarn for a knitted sweater for my craftsy class. So I haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet. I'm leaning toward this one. So, like Taya said, you have a crochet and a knit version if you want to follow us. A sweater option.
Obviously, you can do whatever sweater you want. But I know Nicole Max Nix was asking what we were doing, so if we wanted to, if you guys wanted to match our sweaters.
Right.
And for some reason, we're not focusing right now.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so that takes care of that.
We kind of start focusing. I think it's light. It's kind of going in
and
out.
I think we're having some issues with lighting, and the camera doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what are we doing next?
Next is kind of prompts royalties. Let's just go ahead into royalties.
Okay.
And royalties are things that we bought.
Well, do we want to do our leaf first?
Yes.
Okay, before we get into prompts, we were taking our walk, and I love all the colors of fall, but my favorite leaves are the ones that are kind of the red or purple or kind of gold or, with that red tinge to it. And we came across this one, and I think that this would be a fantastic colorway. This was a leaf that we found on the sidewalk. Isn't it gorgeous? Just look at the colors.
Because you have the red that's kind of like the one I'm wearing. It goes into the blacky dark red. Then you have hints of green there.
And then you've got the kind of gold.
And the other kind of gold.
And a little bit of that purpley, blacky kind of color.
So it's very nice.
I mean, I would love to see some independent dyer, Kimberly, both of them are Kimberly, aren't they?
Both of them are Kimberly.
Yeah, either Kimberly from KR Dye Works or Kimberly Sock Bunny or I think it's Never Enough Time. Those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head who dye yarn. I'd love to see them come up with a colorway for this. Leading Men Fibers.
What's her name? From Mustache, Stacy.
Oh, Stacy, yeah, Stacy from Mustache. If you come up with a colorway like this, it is gorgeous. I think
we probably should return that outside when we're done, so it doesn't get all crinkly in the house.
But I do not wish to.
Well, it's totally your
choice. It'll get all creaky outside. I guess we'll put it out in the backyard. So we found this, and it made us happy. That leads into stash enhancements. Okay, how many do you have?
2.
Okay, I have more than that. I have. Yeah. Okay.
You're like, I have too many.
Yeah, I do. I bought. And I mentioned this last time. I bought some knit picks to fill out my stash from when I did. I didn't show them last week.
I guess mine. Hang on. I don't actually have the yarn for mine yet, so I should probably make mine prompts.
Okay.
So then I'd have no royalties because my stuff's actually not here yet.
Okay. Well, I have that prompts too then, but go ahead.
So the next thing that I'm going to start is the Clint Eastwood poncho. And it basically looks like the poncho from Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Let me go home and see if I can bring it up. Is a pattern. Oh, actually, I don't need to go there to bring it.
Yeah, because we're going to be late again if you're not careful here.
Well, not to mention, hang on, it's over here.
In the book?
In the book. I picked up, this is a royalty actually, but, oh well, it's going to cross over.
It's going to be a mismatch right now.
Vicky Howell's Pop Goes Crochet. I picked it up just for this pattern. It's a really good price, like $7 something.
Yeah, it's a price that you might pay for a
pattern. And that's really all I saw was one pattern.
Right. I looked through it too. I didn't see anything.
And it was the pattern that I bought it for.
There it is.
It is crochet, which I haven't done in a while, and it's also felting, which scares me a little bit. So I picked up some Knit Picks yarn, and I did the green color that he wears in the movies, Clint Eastwood. Because I've been wanting to make this poncho for a while, and this is the only place I've been able to find the pattern. So there it is, just like in the movie. And yes, they only have guys wearing it, but darn it, I want it. And I will wear it. I just need a cowboy hat.
Yes.
So the yarn's coming in. It should be here anytime. I was hoping to be here in time for the podcast, but it's not.
No. I'm going to do my knit picks in the interest of time. My knit picks, they came in 2 different boxes and 2 different deliveries because I ordered them at different times. But since they're both from knit picks, I'm going to show them together. I couldn't find US 7 hooks except at knit picks, and I needed 7. I was finding that patterns I was wanting to do wanted US 7s. My mom's little shawlette calls for 7. I'm using a G because they didn't have a 7. Knit picks does have a 7, which is a 4.5, so I picked up 3 of those and a, with the Tunisian connection to it, this one. So I got these, and then I picked up 2 of the teal that I use so much of for, I forget what I used so much for, one of the toys I made or something.
Didn't you finish that up for Miss Sharon's little scarf?
Oh, that's right, it was Miss Sharon's scarf, yeah. So I got that from Knit Picks, and then the second one, I have to be quiet because I don't know where my other daughter is, Davina. I'm going to be making her something for Christmas. It's a fox pattern. I showed you the pattern last week. And it's a scarf, and she loves her, fashionable. So this is the paprika colorway that I needed for that.
And you have all the white you need?
I have the white, and I have the cream, and I have the black. So that's what I needed. So that came in the second day. So that's my second one from Knit Picks. Do you have anything else, or should I keep going?
I just have the sweater thing.
Okay, I'm going to keep going then. I picked this up from Hobby Lobby. It is a Sunday glass.
I was really good. She was really bad.
Although
my stuff cost more than hers.
And I wasn't really bad.
My stuff cost a lot more
My
than
stuff
hers.
was very cheap. I got this because when I finish projects, I have a very bad habit of leaving my hooks in the bags, and I can't find them. And I also have extra hooks of the G, H, and some of the other more popular sizes, and I have some that have handles that won't fit in the container. So I thought I need a place to put it, and I wanted to get, I forget which podcaster had it. It was like a clay, I think, container. Ty mentioned what I was really looking for was like when you used to do as kids the old juice cans, and you decorate them, you put your pencils in them.
I think they still have the juice cans like that.
Yeah, well, we did it when you were kids for homeschooling. So anyway, I got this for my hooks until I can put them away, or if they don't fit and they stay out of the way. The other thing is I hit a D-stash. I was so excited. This lady had sweater quantities of all kinds of yarn in the worsted yarn in Malabrigo, which I love Malabrigo. I picked up 4 skeins of yarn of the Malabrigo worsted for $32. She paid shipping. She cut off like $3.50 from the price of the yarn. I got a steal on it. I was so excited. This is the color. Isn't it gorgeous? Yes, it is my colors.
Very much your color.
It is. There's 210 yards approximately. The nostalgia colorway, and I think I know what I'm going to do with this. I have to be careful because I think it will felt. But it's really soft and it's really squishy, and I know what I want to do with it. So I just have to cake it up and get started on it. It's gonna. I don't know. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with it. But and I
think it's a secret project because she's not mentioning what it is.
So, well, people watch the podcast who should not know what I'm doing. So. So that's that, and I got some patterns from Ravelry. I got some mitts patterns, and I don't know if I got any more sweater patterns, but I picked up some patterns here and there from Ravelry. Nothing overly expensive, and I don't have it with me, so that's about it.
Okay, so what I next want to talk about is where I really fell down. I watched M-Ski Knits and Stacy from Mustache Podcast in their podcast together, and I fell down, and I picked
No
up...
elf control.
Nope, no elf control.
I wanted to pick up the book cover.
The price was amazing.
It was.
Let's see, I need to...
And I still am thinking about picking it up, but I'd rather not have the fingering weight.
Well, you also didn't want the pressure of
Yeah.
getting it done in a time limit. Or not being done... You didn't want the pressure of the yarn being meant for a certain project. Okay, so...
But she's going to make it available afterward, I think. So
The pattern.
She's really good. I'm going to ask her when it's all done if she will do me some skeins up in a different weight.
So, I fell down and picked up the sweater kit for the, I'm going to mangle this pronunciation.
Pulani?
No, Pulani was her last one.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Pulani is the yarn color.
Right. Oh, you're talking about the sweater.
I'm talking about the sweater.
Yeah.
The sweater kit for the Halalele. Halalele? Halele apostrophe A. Halalele.
Yeah, we had to get Mel to say
Mel said it better earlier. The color I picked up was the Pulani. This is the one that Mel made.
Mm-hmm.
She did the yellow color, and I fell in love with it. Yellow is not usually something that I wear, but like I said, I've been tending more toward the fires lately, and this would look gorgeous layered over something red.
Right.
So
that's really pretty.
it's a really pretty color. It looks really pretty in the sweater Mel made, and Mel made it in the sweater for the knit along. So.
And the funny thing is, the one that she's doing next is the color I like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am very much looking forward. The knit along starts December 26th. The sweater pattern looks amazing. This probably will not count toward our sweater along.
Mm-mm.
This is just my plan was to only have one sweater going on at once. Well,
she fibbed.
I fell down.
Mm. And she went boom boom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was good. I did not buy the yarn. I looked at the stuff. I looked at the sweater. I like the sweater. I will probably buy the pattern and put it aside until I'm ready to do it, and then I'll do it. But right now, I think
You don't need the pressure.
Well, I think right now I want to do my crocheted sweater, and I want to take my crafty sweater class, and then I'll know better how to do pieces and this, that, and the other thing, and I'll better understand what Mel's trying to tell me to do.
Mm-hmm. And I know you're competitive.
Not me.
And you'll get a little upset if you aren't able to keep up.
Not pissed. Anyway, okay, autobiography. We showed you the leaf. I want to finish things that are on the Books and Needles.
On the Books and Needles?
Books and Needles, yes. Because I want to finish my book. Yeah. Do you have anything autobiography-wise?
No, because I've talked about the bread already.
Yeah. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. That's important. I already put out the
I have Thanksgiving off.
Yay. That means you can help me cook. I'm
going to be making more sourdough bread, and I'm going to be making my spaghetti bread.
And we have a big...
Because I had a sourdough starter growing in my fridge.
Yeah, we have a big quasi-Italian meal at Thanksgiving. So we have courses and courses and courses.
And people have choices between two different kinds of bread.
Yeah. So we have a lot of cooking to do.
And then this one tends to be a little moister than the spaghetti bread.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just the tendency of the kind of bread.
And it doesn't have quite the pop that the spaghetti bread does in terms of the flavor, so you can put cheese or something on it.
It's a lot more of a side thing, whereas spaghetti bread you can really eat by itself.
Right. And then for writing, I do have the shared story. I did a lot of writing on the shared story. I did about 2,000 or 3,000 words.
But it was all enmity, wasn't it?
Well, a lot of it was enmity, and then I went on to work on some of the other stuff, but I didn't do too much on it. I had to do some research because it's been so long in between having it. I have to know where certain characters are, and I had to go back and research it, and then things got hectic, and I couldn't do any more writing. But I was happy with what I got done.
Yes.
Do we have any didactic?
No, we don't.
Okay, acknowledgements. Want to thank Anastasia Knits once again.
And also put...
I'm getting to her.
Patchwork.
I'm getting to her.
I keep wanting to call her Ploverbird.
I know. We want to thank Anastasia Knits from Anastasia Knits Designs and Patchwork Moose from Patchwork Moose Designs.
I think she just Patrick
Just
Moose.
for Patchwork Moose. They both are very, very talented designers, and we are thankful and grateful and very blessed to have them.
And all
as,
the full.
Yes, very blessful to have them so generously donating patterns for our toy along. We really
Indeed.
appreciate it. So if you do have the chance and you do find yourself kind of loose ends for a pattern, check them out. They might be able to help you out. And Anastasia now does both knitting and crocheting.
Right.
So
she still hasn't made knit the one pattern I want her to make knit. But
Anastasia.
Anastasia.
Oh,
Anastasia. Anastasia.
I was thinking of Undercover Blues.
Oh, you see, I'm thinking of Hugo. Hugo. I watched the Strawberry Blonde the other day.
I was thinking of Dr. Lana
Right.
from Undercover Blue. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we're geeking out a little bit. Okay, this is getting to be a little bit long, so we want to say goodbye. We want to thank you for joining us again.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you have a wonderful week. Stay warm, stay safe, and we hope you have a wonderful week of crocheting and knitting. We say goodbye. This is the Pen Hook and Needles podcast, episode 76, and that's a wrap.
Booyakasha.